Hello again, YouTube friends. Dustin Bellinger here, and we're back with another episode of Double D's Card Talk. And it's going to be a great issue. It is jam packed, supersized, as some might say, with guest contributors and great information from all of them. And I'm really excited for you all to finally see this episode. And we're talking super collectors. Now, a super collection, for the terms of this episode, we were defining it as a collection that's primarily devoted to one individual player and acquiring as many cards of that individual player as possible. Now, there's also some super collections that you could consider, that are, team focused or in some other realms. But for this episode only, we were talking about it only as super collectors for players. But I do want to acknowledge those other super collections out there as well. And hey, all our collections are super, right? But in this case, some are just a little more super than others. So we've got some great stuff that we are talking about today, and can't wait to get started on it. So I'm going to kick it off to my partner in crime, Dustin Abraham, and he's going to introduce our first guest contributor.
Thanks, DB. This first contributor is like a machine when it comes to picking up cards for his massive Peyton Manning collection. He's also an Andrew Luck super collector. You know him as Antonio Collazo. His channel is The Collazo Effect, and he's going to show us a little bit about how he organizes his super collection.
So I store my super collection in this 6-foot Craftsman steel cabinet. Now when you're buying a cabinet or something to keep your PC in, make sure you do a lot of research, make sure you check a lot of different options, and most importantly, make sure you check the measurements of your boxes and inside of what you're buying. This way it matches and is perfect for you. Cool thing about this cabinet is it does have a lock and key, so your PC is protected, and it is magnetic. It is steel, so I bought this magnetic dry erase board, which comes in handy. I write down my goals, I write down my counts. Now let me show you guys inside the cabinet. It's a really nice cabinet. Inside the doors are these little cubbies, which are perfect for supplies. Now most of my collection is in 2-row boxes. As you guys see, I have a lot of them. And I knew when I bought this cabinet, I really wanted to maximize the inside of this cabinet. And I knew that these 2-row boxes would fit with about 2 inches of space. And I bought these BCW shoe houses, which are very convenient because normally these boxes are stacked on top of each other. Sometimes you have 3, and if you want to get the bottom box, then you have to take out the top box and the box after that, and then vice versa. You have to put all them. It's just a hassle. So these eliminate that because there is a divider in between. So I could just take out this box and the top box will stay, which makes it very, very convenient. So let me show you guys how I store and divide my collection. So I divide my super collection into different sections. So over here we have boxes that are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we have 2 numbered boxes. Then we have 2 relic boxes, and on top we have a card case pro box. And I'll get into each box and what I put in each box. One thing that I highly recommend you guys invest in is a label maker. There's so many different uses for this. It's in handy. I also use this for tabs. I label certain cards with this. So I highly recommend a label maker. Now let me show you guys what I put in each box. So we'll start out with these boxes that are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in these boxes, I put my regular cards in, meaning my base cards and non-numbered inserts. All my relics, all my autos, all my graded cards all have different boxes. So let me show you guys inside one of these boxes. So in these boxes, and including my entire collection, I have everything divided by years. It just makes it easier to track each card. And so I use these BCW trading card dividers. These are the tall versions, and these are perfect. They fit right above the top loaders, and in these boxes are pretty much all top loaders. So everything is in brand new top loaders, and they all have perfect fit sleeves. So the top loader perfect fit sleeves that I use is by a company called Perfect Fit Innovations. These are great sleeves that fit very tightly against the top loader, which is so important when you're using these 2-row boxes and 3-row boxes and 4-row boxes. You want these sleeves as tight as possible. So the reason why I started using these is because I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly going through my collection and I'm always shuffling through cards, and I was finding that all my top loaders, all my brand new top loaders were becoming scratched simply by shuffling through cards. And so originally I started buying the team bags, but the problem with the team bags is they don't fit that tight around the card, so there was excess about up to here. And the thing with these 2-row boxes is if you have all that excess, all the cards start going sideways. So that's when I started doing my research. I came across this company. Now, the great thing about these is this really makes all the cards pop. I mean, you could even put scratched up and beat up top loaders and it'll pretty much make it look brand new. So I highly recommend these Perfect Fit Innovation sleeves. So another thing that I use in my boxes that's very useful are these foam pad stoppers. You could put them at the ends of the boxes. You could put them at the beginning of the boxes. This way, when you're carrying your boxes around, your cards don't shuffle back and forth. So let me show you guys inside my numbered boxes. So these are my numbered boxes. I keep exclusively nothing but numbered cards in here, not including autos, not including relics, not including graded cards. So let me give you guys a little sneak peek. So this is what the inside of my numbered boxes look like. All my boxes are set up the same way, all divided by year. Now what I mean by numbered cards are cards that have serial numbers stamped on them, either on the back or the front. So let me show you guys my relic boxes. So these are my relic boxes. So if it's a jersey card, a ball card, a ticket card, if it's a relic, it's in these boxes. So let me show you guys inside. So in these boxes, I have numbered relics and non-numbered relics. So what I do with the numbered relics is I put this small little sticker in the right-hand corner just so it's easy to identify which are numbered and which aren't. This way you don't have to take out every single card, search every single card to know it's a number card. You could just look, see that there's a dot, and that means it's a number card. So these stickers, I have 2 different colors. You can get these off of Amazon pretty cheap. I pretty much just, whatever color goes better with the card, I put it on there. Another thing, if you notice the BCW dividers, some are high, some are low. So the thing about these is these are actually the same height as a one touch. So if you put this behind a one touch, it'll totally disappear. So what I do is I modify them. It's very easy. You could just cut 2 pieces of an index card at your desired height, tape them together, and you won't see the bottom because it's behind the cards. And then it'll stick up right behind the card. So let me show you guys my Card Case Pro box. So I keep all my autographs and my graded cards in this Card Case Pro box. It's a very sturdy box, very well built, has a leather-like material, has very strong handles on the sides, and right now there's about 50 pounds of cards in here, so this will definitely keep your collection safe. And let me show you guys inside the box. On the top there's a foam, and the cool thing about this box is it's totally customizable. There's dividers that actually come out, and there's little slits in the side about 1/8 of an inch or about 1/4 of an inch, and you could totally customize the width of the rows to fit your collection. And so I keep all my autographs on the left side, and then I keep the rest of my graded cards on the right side. This holds Beckett, PSA, BCCG, GMA cards, and it'll definitely keep your collection safe. One thing that I highly recommend you do for your graded cards is very easily just pick up these perfect fit sleeves. They have ones for PSA, ones for Beckett, because these cases scratch very easily, and once they're scratched, they're pretty much scratched forever. They're not like a top loader where you could just switch it out. It's a whole big process. So do yourself a favor and definitely get some kind of protection on those graded cards. And I would like to thank both Dustins for allowing me to be on this segment, and I hope you guys enjoy the content.
Now, that was some tremendous information you just shared there with us, Antonio. I really appreciate you being a part of this episode and contributing your knowledge to us. And I have to say, your organization is truly inspiring, the way you keep things managed like that. And now, moving on to our next guest contributor is somebody that I think a lot of you are very familiar with. Is known here in the community as Tops 85401, otherwise known as Nate. Some of you may know him not only from his own channel, but from Baseball Card Junkies TV. Now, Nate has one of the largest and most in-depth collections of home run slugger Barry Bonds that I have ever seen. It's truly astounding, some of the rare cards that he has of Bonds, and the breadth of his collection is just beyond my own ability to describe it. So he's got some great information that he's going to share with us on how he finds cards and some of the tools that he uses. So I'm going to kick it off to him. Thank you, Nate, and take it away.
All right, Dustin and Dustin, thanks so much for having me on your Double D Card Talk. And I want to say what's up to Brian, Scott, and Antonio as well. I know you guys have segments on this episode. And for me, I'm going to talk about what I do to research and locate information about rare cards while facing challenges of the vast volume of cards. And how do I swim through all the abundant cards to find what I need for my collection. So first of all, I love using the standard catalog of baseball cards. And I'm just going to show a quick clip here, guys, on what makes a standard catalog of baseball cards so awesome. So this is why I love the standard catalog of baseball cards. We got our 1990 score McDonald's Barry Bonds baseball card. Well, what makes this card so special, so rare? The standard catalog of baseball cards goes into detail on the distribution of the card, where they came from. So this is how detailed it is. I'll just read a couple of the sentences here. This 25 card set was released exclusively at 11 McDonald's restaurants in Idaho and Eastern Oregon. 4 cards were given with a large fries and soda purchase. Production was reported as 4,000 each. And it goes on to break it down a little bit more. But what is so fascinating is if there were 4,000 each of these cards, most of them probably got thrown away, destroyed, who knows what happened to them. The majority of people did not hang on to them or take care of them. And they were only distributed in 11 McDonald's. That is just fascinating. And you can only get that information from the standard catalog of baseball cards. There are many, many, many other examples. This is just one of my favorite examples I figured I'd share with you guys. Of course, there's the online community. I think that's been the most helpful for me. Being a super collector is not something that you want to do alone. And the online community has been awesome. YouTube, great resource. I've met a lot of awesome people on here that have helped me with my collection. Also, Facebook, absolutely wonderful. I created a couple of groups on Facebook. I created a 90s through early 2000s insert group, as well as a Barry Bonds collectors group. And the people in those groups are instrumental in me adding to my collection. I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots on the groups I created. Of course, the last place I look to build my collection is on eBay and COMC, just doing searches. And the way I like to search for cards for my Bonds collection, I pretty much know everything that's out there online. So the only way I can really find new cards that aren't online already is to narrow down my search to newly listed items and then check several times a day on the newly listed items to see if something pops up that I've never seen before or something that I need for my collection. And a lot of times if stuff pops up and I've never seen it before, first thing I do is I contact my friends, ask them, what do you know about this card? That's if I don't know anything about the card. A lot of times they'll have a card that I'm asking about and they'll tell me about it. So really it's all about the community. That's where I get most of my information. I couldn't do this by myself. It would be absolutely impossible. So again, guys, you got to be involved and have fun. This is a social hobby, at least for me, and the social aspect has really helped me build my collection. The last thing I want to talk about is, for me, when I go to the National, I know that there is going to be probably 25, 30 people that have my phone number in their phone that'll be at the National. And if they see a Bonds card that looks like something that I might not have in my collection, I guarantee I'm going to get a text message with an image of that card and them asking me, hey, Nate, do you need this card? Is this something you have? I know when I went to the National in 2017, my phone was blowing up and I was able to acquire cards that I would have never found had it not been for the community just letting me know, hey, Nate, I found this over here. Do you need it? And yeah, I mean, I probably added about 5 or 10 cards that way. And I get that a lot from the community when I'm not at the National, just people text messaging me and asking me, hey, do you have this card? So really, there's no way one person can know everything. It has to be a community of people. It has to be. And that's what I love about collecting. That's what makes collecting fun. So hopefully this has been helpful. And everybody watching this, as always, happy collecting.
Well, thanks, Nate. That was some great information. And I just want to reiterate one thing that Nate talked about, and that's the social media aspect of super collecting, or the Facebook groups and stuff. And I want to do a quick plug of our Facebook group, Super Collectors Unite. So we'll leave a link below. And as you can see, there is, it's a nice little group for all of us like-minded player collectors to get together and share our pickups, share our counts, what players we collect, ideas, bouncing ideas off of each other and discussing certain topics. And I've had a lot of positive feedback about it. A lot of people tell them it's sort of inspired them, lit a fire under them to keep going with this player collecting. And so if you go to the group, you'll see the top post will be the announcement or the pinned post that will have all of people's counts. Now, we say as a super collector, you need to have 250 players or unique cards of that player, and that's a very arbitrary number. You don't have to have 250 cards of a certain player to be a super collector. You know, that's not a strict definition of a super collector. What it is just, like I said, it's an arbitrary number, but it's a guideline to get you on this list. So that way I'm not listing every single person's collection known to man, you know. So yeah, it's just an arbitrary number. But yeah, it's just a really cool Facebook page to go and share ideas and discuss topics. So I hope you check it out. And if you're a super collector, I hope you join. Now let's talk to B. Roth 6, aka Brian Roth, as he discusses his unique super collection of over 200 Hank Greenberg cards.
Guys, B. Roth 6 here, Brian. I've been asked by the two Dustins, Abraham and Ballinger, to film a little segment for their super collecting video. Very happy that they asked me, because my collection is very unique. In fact, my entire Hank Greenberg collection is right here. So I have a monster box, about half a graded card box with some larger postcards and some things and some premiums in there, graded tall boys, a full SGC box, SGC slabs, and this is all like very much oversized. So this is my entire Hank Greenberg collection. I brought it out of my safe just for you guys to look at, just to see like the actual quantity of it. And I also wanted to show you my master list that I keep. So this catalogs everything in my collection by year, designation if it's a vintage card, set, card number, variation if there's any, a grade, price that I paid for it, game use autograph, and then when I was consigning or selling part of my collection, I made this column here too. But it helps me keep track of everything really easily. I can easily add, subtract, filter on anything that I have going on in here. It just keeps going. There's a lot of stuff in here. When I first started my collection in 2006, I was collecting everything Hank Greenberg, vintage and modern. I greatly cut back, doesn't look like it here, but I greatly cut back on the amount of modern cards that I had in my collection. I sold probably about a third of my collection and reinvested it into vintage. Now I buy vintage dupes and doubles, but I really just love his contemporary vintage cards, and I've been really focused on getting those. So we're looking for a count here of every item in my collection. Let's see where we are. 237 cells. So 237 items. Not every one is unique, but 237 items by Hank Greenberg collection. That's down from probably about 350, what it was maybe, I don't know, 8 to 10 months ago, I would say. So when it comes to buying, I'm happy to take you guys sort of through what I pay for these. When it comes to buying a Hank Greenberg vintage card, they're just not cheap, as you can see. Like this Annis Furs, although the card's worth, I think, at least double what I paid here at $308. One card, $308. I mean, you can just see, what I pay for some of these. So it's hard for me to buy a lot in quantity, but I'm focused more on quality. And my focus right now is really just focusing on buying beautiful vintage cards, ones that I think have tremendous eye appeal, even for whatever assigned grade it might be. You'll see some gifts in here, but that's my list. I guess I'll show a couple things. This is a really cool BF3 pennant from 1936 to 37. I'm just pulling out like random stuff here for you to see. Couple of cards, really nice Goudy heads up. I have no idea what I'm even looking at here. I'm just pulling out some random cards. This is a Recollection Collection buyback number 8, which I bought that for only $40, and the autograph came back at 10, which is amazing. A really nice 38 Goudy, the other variation, as you can see, the two. I would love another one of these. I think that's something that I'm looking at for the National. And a nice Goudy foreign one. So guys, this is my entire Hank collection. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a labor of love, and I love it. I enjoy it so much. My list. Hopefully this guy's kind of helps you stay organized. And let me know what you think.
Another tremendous segment there from Brian, and I have to say I really enjoyed this one. Seeing a super collection of a pre-war star like that is something that's really unique, and I just really appreciate that you shared that with us, Brian. So thank you. Now we're going to flip over again to the modern side, and our next guest contributor, Scott, who many of you will know of as Big D for Life. He is a super collector of Emmett Smith, and he's going to share some of his knowledge and his organizational tips about spreadsheets with us. So I'll kick it off to you, Scott. Thank you.
What's up, Card family? How's everybody doing? Big D for life here. Hey, I'm going to get really quick into this because I got a lot of info to share. Dustin and Dustin reached out to me and they wanted me to share some information about spreadsheets. In particular, using Google Docs for your spreadsheets. I know a lot of people like to use Excel. I know a lot of people like to use their handheld spreadsheets. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I just want to show you my method for my madness. And arm you with some information. So anyway, easy. First thing you need is a Google account, a Gmail account. So if you go to gmail.com, create an account. This is what that screen looks like. All right. So I'm going to X this away. Once you have created an account and you are in your Gmail inbox, all you have to do is go up here to the top right for Google Apps and open up Google Drive. Once you're in Google Drive, you already see these are spreadsheets that are shared with me. I'm going to go over here to New, and I want to create a new Google Sheet. So all I want you to do with a Google Sheet is think of it as pieces of paper. These are different pieces of paper that you're writing on. I'm going to make this page 1 my home page. As you see, I named it down here on the tab, and we're going to say 1991 and 1992. Okay, these are the 2 years theoretically I'm gonna track. So I'm gonna add and add. See the little plus button? I added. Let me see. I think I need to just a little bit adjust. There we go. The little plus button down here, I simply added. So and then I'm gonna rename them. I'm gonna call this one 1991 and this one 1992. You just double click on them to rename them, right? So I'm going to go to 91. What do I want to track here? I want to track the manufacturer, and I'm just going to, might misspell some stuff, okay? Let's say we'll track the card number, and we will track, I like to have a tab called inventory, and then 1991 total, all right? So let's say I have 1991 tops. Card number 337. And so this here, my inventory, I don't know a better way to do this. If you do, feel free to share. I've got 1. All right. So then we'll say we have a Fleer. Card number 456. Inventory 1. All right. So for your 1991 total, right? How do you track the total? So in this box right here, just a quick little formula, equals sum of, you put the little parenthesis, and this is column F is what I want to total. F, I don't know, what is that called? A semicolon? F. See the formula? And then close it. Enter, boom, it tracks the total. So if I add another card, boom, tracks it. Another one, boom, tracks it. Got it? So we've got 4. Let's go to 92, all right? Again, we're going to do manufacturer. Let me pause. All right, you didn't miss anything. I just filled out some fields. So I'm going to use my formula again, equals sum. I don't know what that's called. And this time we're tracking column E, close it. 2, right? Add more. 3. Add another one. 4. Get it? So how do you link those back to your home page, right? How do I get 91 and 92 back to home? Because you want to know how many you've got, right? Really simple. I go to 91 equals 91 here, highlight it, enter, boom. 92 equal sign. I go to 92, highlight my total, enter, boom. Then I want to keep a running total of all my years, right? So I can just say right here, total cards, and I want this to be equals, and I'm going to sum the D column, right? So sum D, boom, 8 cards. I don't know if that's making sense. That is down and dirty, all right? I'm not showing everything. And here's the cool thing, you know, from here on out, it's tracking it. You add to this inventory, you see the number growing on the right, see it growing, you go back to that home page, it's changing. It's tracking it on your home page. And you can add year after year after year, just like the Emmett document. So here's my Emmett Smith document. And there's all the years. See there? There's my total cards. And then I have them tracked. This will give you a good idea. Let's go to, say, 1994. There's 94, and you see what I track. I track manufacturer, insert or subset, the card number. You gotta track the card number. Serial numbering, color refractor, notes. I track who I got them from. There's one from Dustin, Dreamer. There's my inventory. I have to have that. I don't track doubles anymore, so really simple. Just delete that, and then it tracks my total, which, like I said, links back to my home page. All right, so what is better about Google Docs or Google Sheets versus, say, Excel? For me, is super easy. So I'm gonna go back to my drive. Well, first of all, I can show you on my document. There's a tab on my document, Dustin. See that? That's where Dustin can add cards. He can add Emmets that he picks up for me, all right? But I want you to see this live and in person. So let's go back to my drive. And see this shared with me, Eli Manning. Open it up. This document belongs to Cards of Giants, all right? This is Greg's document. If anybody knows Greg, I'm sure a lot of you do. So I picked up some Eli's yesterday based on his document, which I can view on my phone. Here's the Eli's I picked up for Greg yesterday. And the way I was able to pick them up and know that he didn't have them was by using his document. All right, so here we go. What do we got? 2015 draft picks. This is the Prism. So I go to his 2015. There it is, Prism draft picks, card number 40, right? Same one I've got in my hand, but he doesn't have the Prism refractor. So I started in his document a Scott tab, and I added that card. So if Greg is looking for cards, any of the cards that I've added, he knows not to buy them. All right, I'm going to show you one more example. So I'm going to go back to my drive, and I'm going to go shared with me, and see these different documents that are shared with me. I'm going to choose the Chris Carter document. This is Dustin Abraham's Chris Carter spreadsheet. So I did his a little different, and I think I'll start doing it like this. I picked him up some Chris Carters this weekend, right? Here they are. Cool, right? So in my hand, I've got a 1999 score. So I'm going to go to his document. I'm going to check 1999. And this is where I added them. So I literally went into his document and live added the cards that I picked up for him. What I did, I highlighted them in yellow. So what I did not do, I didn't add to his inventory. But this way, if Dustin looks at his document to say, hey, I'm about to buy this card, he'll look and he'll see it's in his document right here. So he's not going to buy it. When he actually gets them, he can go in and add a 1 and update his document and remove the highlight. Pretty cool, right? I think it is. Super easy to share with folks. This is the beauty of Google Docs, and it's with you all the time. So Google Docs, you can add the Google app to your phone, and you can view Google Docs anywhere, even offline. You don't even have to have an internet connection to view a Google Sheet. So I'm in the card show yesterday. I picked up 60 Emmett Smiths, and while I was picking them up, I was able to thumb through my document all along the way, and make sure that I didn't have them before I bought them. And that's the power of Google Docs. Yes, you can carry around a lot of sheets of paper, but it's cumbersome and you can't live share that stuff with other people. Anyway, that's all I got. I know I'm running 10 minutes. D&D, I really appreciate you guys letting me be a part of this. I hope this is helpful. This is so much information to jam pack into a quick video. So appreciate y'all watching. Keep it real. I'm out.
Thank you so much to our contributors, Antonio, Nate, Brian, and Scott. And you know what I love so much about the super collecting thing, the super collecting community, is the way that we all feed off of each other. You know, we're always having friendly competitions. I'm getting messages all the time of pictures of Kirby Puckett cards saying, do you need this? Do you have this? Do you want this? And I'm doing the same for the other collectors. So we're helping each other. We're giving each other a little fire under the butt and motivating each other and helping each other out with cards for our account. And it's just awesome. It's a great community to be a part of. So thanks for watching. I'm going to leave the links to all of those great channels below just in case you're not subscribed to one of them. And I'm also going to leave a link to the playlist of all the past Double D Card Talk videos so you can go and binge watch them. And until next time, thanks for watching. We're going to leave you with some shout outs of some other super collectors.